a true leader and inspiration for women in the BCA. She's an encouraging and nurturing mentor to all of us. And thank you again, Cindy, for sharing your inspirational talk. I would now like to introduce Trudy Gahlinger. Trudy is with the Jodo Shinshu Buddhist Temples of Canada Women's Federation.
Ohayo gozaimasu. Or as we say in Canada, good morning, eh? I heard from one of the guest speakers yesterday that Japanese always start their talk with an apology, and Americans always begin with a joke. So I'm going to show some interdependence by trying to do a bit of both. I'm going to start by apologizing for not bringing a prepared Canadian joke. And then I'm going to share the best joke I could find last night on the internet. How many Zen Buddhists does it take to screw in a light bulb? There is no light bulb. When I was asked to do a presentation at this convention, I was in the process of studying to become a health coach, a health and wellness coach. And as I thought about the theme of living the Nembutsu and my own understanding that gratitude is a really central practice in terms of the Nembutsu, I became really curious about linking my studies to this talk. And I began to wonder if there had been any research done showing that science could prove the health benefits of practicing gratitude. I was amazed to discover that there are all kinds of research studies available now that are linking gratitude to good health. In fact, in the last 5 years, there's been a real explosion of research studies on the medical benefits of gratitude. Now, Shinran Shonin understood this 900 years ago when he gave us the Nembutsu, and science is finally catching up and showing us that our mental, physical, and psychological health can be vastly improved through the practice of gratitude. So it's wonderful to say that gratitude is good medicine. I want to share a few of the fascinating physical, psychological, and relationship benefits of practicing gratitude as a way to deepen our appreciation of the great gift of the Nembutsu. To start with, the research on the benefits of gratitude on physical health shows some amazing results. Gratitude can play a major role in preventing disease and recovering from disease and illness. Recent studies show that grateful people sleep better, have better nutrition, and have more energy. And I'm going to suggest if you have better sleep and more energy, you probably have a better sex life. The results become even more important when we look at the biological effects of gratitude. For example, people at risk of heart failure decrease their levels of inflammation when they practice gratitude. And people at risk for dementia actually increase their ability to communicate. The impact of gratitude on psychological health is equally impressive. Grateful people are less depressed. They have higher self-esteem and they feel more capable of dealing with life's challenges. In addition, grateful people handle stress better, both the minor stress of daily life as well as the major stress that results from personal tragedies and even trauma. The need for new approaches to improving psychological health is especially important while we look at the rates of depression in different countries. I'm sad to say that Canadians are one of the world's biggest users of antidepressants. Almost 1 in 9 Canadians currently uses one or more antidepressant medications. I'm going to assume that the rates in the USA might be very similar. So what's happening here? Finding alternative solutions to depression is really an urgent matter. And we're not going to solve the problem by coming up with new antidepressants. What if we simply gave the instruction of practicing gratitude as an alternative to more medication? Finally, the impact of gratitude on relationships matches the benefits of its impact on physical and psychological health. Grateful people get along better with other people. They give back more, and they are more forgiving. To view the world through a grateful lens is a way of seeing life in terms of the many gifts we have received and continue to receive. We couldn't have gotten to where we are without the help and support of so many people. Gratitude helps us become aware of our interdependence and strengthens the bonds among us. Now, you may be thinking, oh, come on, it can't be that simple. Gratitude, and you can cure illnesses and recover from disease and become physically better just by the simple act. So in order to make this real for you, I want to share my personal story of how gratitude played a major role in helping me to recover from a major illness. I have been a full-time consultant in Calgary for many years, and I was at a point a few years ago where I needed to make a big change. I was exhausted. I wanted to work less, and I was so sick of the long Canadian winters. The Canadians will appreciate that comment. So I moved to Victoria in British Columbia. 2 years ago, I woke up one morning and I could not move. I had an autoimmune disease called fibromyalgia, which some of you may be aware of. It's a chronic condition that causes extreme inflammation of the joints and the muscles. And along with the inflammation comes extreme pain, so that it's very difficult to move at all. At first, I was in shock. I had never been seriously ill as an adult, and I took my health for granted. I could hardly get out of bed. How could this happen to me? I felt helpless and afraid, and I started to imagine a terrible future of ongoing chronic illness and continuing lack of mobility. But after a few days in bed, something else began to stir inside of me. And I wasn't sure where it came from, although I think I do know now. And I started to think about Shin Buddhism and my Buddhist beliefs. And I thought, well, this is really the time to put my beliefs to the test. This was surely the time to practice my beliefs. I wondered if I could start to see my illness as a gift rather than a punishment. I wondered, was it possible to be grateful for being so sick? At that time, I remember talking to my brother on the phone. My brother lives in Ontario, and I was quite sick and in bed, and he was very worried about me. And as we were talking, I suddenly said, very confidently, and I don't know where it came from, you know, one day I'm going to say that this illness was the best thing that ever happened to me. And that became true. Oh, I did lots of research on fibromyalgia, I learned all about it, I read about it, but mostly I rested and I reflected. And I gained a much deeper understanding of how our mind, our body, and our spirit are deeply connected. What happens to one part of us happens to every part of us. I had thought with great arrogance that I was strong enough to simply ignore what my body was trying to tell me. And I learned that taking care of our physical body is as important and as necessary as taking care of our mental and spiritual health. When my body finally said no more and literally stopped me from moving, I could finally listen. I was finally able to listen. And I am so grateful that today I can say fibromyalgia was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'm even more grateful that it launched me on my new career as a health and wellness coach. Because I became absolutely inspired to share my own experience with others and to help others to continue good health if they have it, and to recover from illness and disease if that's what they're facing. So how can we deepen our gratitude and integrate it more into daily life? Just as our muscles get stronger the more we use them, our gratitude muscles get stronger as we expand our gratitude. So we express more appreciation for the good in our lives, and then it becomes easier to express more appreciation for the goodness in our lives. And we can start with very simple steps. No complicated stuff needed. Even if you just pause for a few moments during the day and just think in that moment, what am I grateful for right now? It's really as easy as that. We can also keep a gratitude journal. And you may have heard of this practice, which has become very popular. And again, the science is researching it. And the science has shown us that there are many benefits of writing down what we are grateful for. Somehow, when we put it on paper, it becomes more real to us. It imprints in our brains. In recent studies, people who started keeping a gratitude journal reported feeling more alive, happier, less lonely, less isolated, and more resistant to risky behaviors such as drug and alcohol abuse. The studies included a wide range of people from the ages of 8 to 80. And so even small children can learn the practice of simply expressing appreciation or thank you for something good in their lives. The best thing about gratitude is that it's available to everyone. You don't have to lose weight. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to finish your to-do lists. You can start practicing gratitude right now, just as you are, and immediately start to experience the benefits of reframing our lives in a more positive way. In the same way that Shinran Shorin created a new kind of Sangha in Japan, where all members were equal, the opportunities and practice of gratitude are very democratic and available to everyone. So I want you to imagine a world where doctors write prescriptions for gratitude rather than prescriptions for medication. The research on gratitude tells us that these doctors would actually have better results with their patients, and their patients would have better results with their health. Until that day arrives, each of us can live the Nembutsu more fully by deepening our own practice of gratitude. I believe that it will help to heal ourselves and in turn help us all to heal our communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Trudy, for sharing your motivating